From selling contact lenses online in 2010 to running one of India's biggest homegrown eyewear brands, Peyush Bansal has come a long way. As Lenskart readies for its IPO, Bansal opens up to ET's Startups editor Samidha Sharma and their key tracker Pranav Mukul in today's episode about building a billion vision company, the global push from India to Japan, smart glasses bets, and the fine balance between growth and scrutiny in public markets. It's Tuesday, the 28th of October. This is the Morning Brief.
Just to kind of set a little bit of context on, Lenskart and your journey, I wanted to just understand how the vision has kind of mapped out for you from the time that you began selling contact lenses, and it was a very different business back in 2010. And then you opened your first store in 2013. And now in 2025, you're going to be listing in the next few weeks. So what has been the journey and how has the vision for Lenskart changed over the past 15 years?
Yeah, great. I think vision was, in some ways it has been the same, and in some ways it has changed in terms of just the ambition. Size of the ambition probably has changed. I think from the very beginning it was about how do we do something very transformative. I think that was the essence of it from the very beginning, of why I left my job and then early days of struggle, that how do we really do something. And we always used to say the world would not be the same if it didn't exist. I remember in early days we used to present to the team and I would put a picture of a Google map on a phone and I would say, can you imagine your life without Google map? And that is what Lenskart needs to be. And I think in that sense, that hasn't changed. I think we still feel that we want to be transformative. We want to impact lives of people in a way that it won't feel the same. And I think the other thing that hasn't changed is it's always been about giving vision to people. The thing that got added, I would say in the last 4-5 years, is can we improve their quality of life by giving them very innovative eyewear. The other thing I think I still remember with TCM, we used to say that in India, if we went to a stadium, cricket match, we want 50% of people in that stadium to be wearing our glasses. I think that got changed a little bit, and now we say we want Asia to wear our glasses, Asia and Middle East. I think in our mind, it was always about let's serve 100 million people. I think now we talk about serving 1 billion people.
So, interestingly, you had a bunch of other categories when you started off. And I remember my first meeting with you back in 2010-11. You were doing jewelry, bags, etc. at that point, right? But you then only zeroed down on doing eyewear. What was the reason that you started broad and you kind of narrowed your focus only on one category?
If you look at the genesis of Lenskart, I think it started with me leaving Microsoft to do something transformative. Right? It was literally inspired by one conversation with Bill Gates where he said, I am eradicating malaria. I have already put a PC in every home. So it was that simple. And I think when I started my entrepreneurship journey, it wasn't for money. I had no plans to be an entrepreneur. We found that transformation in giving vision to people because there was this large problem. India is the blind capital of the world. That is where it started. That dream started. That can we really solve this? Now, in that journey, as we raised investment, as we got a little bit adulterated, I would say, we somehow got distracted into saying, okay, can we do watches, bags, jewelry? I think it's very normal course in an entrepreneur's journey. But I think the heart wasn't there. The GMV was there, I would say. The heart wasn't there. And very soon, I think 80% of the GMV of the company was coming from these accessories. Watches are expensive. Chashme to saste hote. Bags are even more expensive. Jewelry is even more expensive. So obviously they took all the limelight of the GMV. If you look at me, I was spending like 80% of my time in eyewear. And the beauty was I never hired a business head for eyewear. but I had a business head for every other category. And I think at some point the heart prevailed over logic.
Is there any plan to diversify beyond eyewear as you get into your next phase of growth?
Abhitu, it doesn't feel the need to, because what we set out as an ambition, which is vision for 1 billion.
Yeah.
No, we have only served 22 million pairs last year, 20 to 23 million pairs. So kahan 5 million or kahan billion? And I think there is a lot of work to be done. So nothing right now. I think, of course, there is the smart eyewear and there is more link to it and there is all of that, but not like we're getting into shoes and bags and jewelry or anything like that.
First of all, want to understand, Peyush, what you mentioned about, your sort of ambition growing from providing access to eyewear for all to this slightly more, sort of do more kind of thing. It sounds like you going from a mass market sort of a scenario to slightly more premium. And at the same time, you're also looking at a lot of international sort of markets for that. Is that sort of a shift that can be read into this? And does that work better in international markets compared to India?
Not necessarily. I would say Lenskart has always been a brand for all. Right? If you look at it, even in the DRHP we have disclosed, we have as many transactions below 2,000 as we have above 10,000. And when we say about innovation in eyewear, we are not talking about premiumization. I mean, if you look at Lenskart Air as a category, it is very similar to what Uniqlo does with Airism. And it is as mass market. I mean, a pair of Air glasses cost only about 2,000 rupees, including lenses. Lenskart has always been mass and premium and non-premium all at the same time. I mean, we are a platform brand which is meant for all. And we have a house of brands. Now, in that house of brands, there are brands which serve at different price points. And the international part is more to raise. It is part of the Lenskart's mission to democratize eyewear, and what better place than Asia, where myopia rates are above 80%, to do that. I mean, by the age of 18, 83% people in Singapore get myopia. The way myopia is growing in Southeast Asia is even higher, and the price points at which people get products is even 10 times higher than India. So there's a big deficit for a quality eyewear player in that ecosystem. But at the same time, I think what international brings to India for Lenskart is just excellence. So yeah, international helps us a lot in India to stay relevant.
So just on that point, it's a good segue to understand your international and just how large it has become for you. It's almost, 40-50%. There is a bit of commentary that it is because of your acquisition in Japan and that has kind of led to the international numbers looking large. Can you shed a little more light on how this will look like, in the next couple of years for Lenskart in terms of your overall revenues that will come from international?
See, I can't comment on the future projections here, but what I can tell you, it's an important part of the Lenskart piece. We're trying to create a global brand. It's nowhere a sideline thing for us. It is about 40% of the revenue. And I think we are building on it. We are there in Singapore right now. We are in Thailand, where we are expanding rapidly. We are there in Japan. We are very well established in UAE. We are entered Saudi recently. So we are on an expansive growth mode in international, just like we are in India.
Why I asked you is that, this perception that the international numbers are looking good is because of the acquisitions that you've done. How much of the back end is being actually, kind of being driven from India? And is that a story that, you're trying to build as well?
Yeah, so definitely, I think I would not say it is fully integrated right now, but a significant part is now integrated into India. We are investing in building more capacity. We see India as a great place because eyewear is customized, right? It's not a pick, pack, ship product. And I think in India, we have the engineering, we have the technology to do that. And so at Lenskart, at the core of it, our model can we centralize the supply chain. So when you place an order at a Lenskart store, globally, we are within moments picking up a frame in our centralized factory in Bhiwadi right now. Then we are manufacturing lenses, we are cutting lenses, and we are shipping ready glasses out. I would say in the earlier markets where we are, a lot of it is now going from India. We are still very early days, but we are integrating it aggressively, and it is a big part of the plan. And that is why in Hyderabad, we are putting this massive new factory. It is significant investment that we are making there to increase our capacity. But that increase in capacity is both to serve India and international. And right now, higher double digit or whatever, like a significant part is moved to India, and we are moving more and more to India right now.
Can you quantify how much of manufacturing, the entire full stack of it, is being done out of India now for Lenskart? And how has that grown?
We do manufacturing at three levels, right? I would say frame manufacturing, lens manufacturing, and then we bring the frame and lens together, which is called the specs manufacturing. So
Right.
specs manufacturing is the core. So that glasses are made after you place an order.
Yeah.
We are doing it in our factories for every order,
Right.
especially for everything we sell in India. And then
Right.
frame and lens manufacturing, I would say almost a significant part of now happens in India, about 40 to 50%.
Quickly want to understand, as we sort of stand here a couple of weeks before sort of your listing, I mean, what are the key sort of 2 or 3 growth drivers as of now for the company, and what are we likely to see over the next sort of couple of years in terms of your investment focus, or, where growth would come from?
See, one, of course, I think the basic, doing brilliant basics. I think just making sure that as we scale, we deliver better and better customer experience. So I think just raising the bar on net promoter score, which has grown from about 71, 72 to now over 78. Second, I think is scaling eye tests. We did about 6 million a few years back. FY23, we grew it to 16 million. Can we really continue to compound? I think third is about building a lot of technology. I think I would say with AI coming into the picture, the possibilities have opened a lot. We are doing remote eye test right now. In over 500 stores, we are doing self-eye test. We are investing in smart glasses as an area where we'll continue to. We are investing in location analytics. As you know, recently we had acquired GeoIQ, which was a location analytics startup, because that gives us really, makes us understand where to expand in India, what merchandise to put there. So when we look at geo analytics, it is at the core of how we want to expand in India, not just in a store opening, but even in terms of merchandising, even in terms of understanding customers, understanding marketing. So yeah, I would say just focus on using, brilliant basics, continue to build the supply to deliver on those basics, and invest in technology.
Peyush, also talk a bit about online and offline growth. Again, I'm referring to something that we'd written last year, that for the first time, online growth actually overtook your offline growth for Lenskart last year. What is the kind of, trajectory you're seeing in the past 1 year, and where do you see the online offline split for you? And secondly, on the technology bit, just wanted to double click. There has been a lot of action on the wearables and the smart glasses, if you see, from Meta, Snap, etc. Any plans to do that?
I mean, I don't look at the split, to be honest.
Okay.
The customers are moving between channels all the time. It's a world of omni customer, not omni channel. On a smart glasses side, I would say very exciting. Lenskart, we have tied up with Qualcomm. We launched our Bluetooth glasses early this year. They have been very successful. We did a pilot. I think we spent significant time designing it. The next version, which will have the camera and videos, is under production right now, should be out soon. So the approach we are taking is full stack, right? We invested in a company called Ajna, which is an AR company, about a few months back. A very strong set of founders who have been working on AR and XR for over a decade now. We are working on problems like image optimization, video optimization. We just integrated UPI into our smart glasses, where you should.
Yeah, GFF.
Well, the way I am looking at the world is there's an extension of smartphone.
But how are you going to compete with a Meta on this?
हमें क्यों compete करना है ना Meta से? Why is everything has to be about competition? We have to work for our customers.
When do you think this part of the business, where you talk about smart glasses, you talk about remote testing, etc., will become substantial?
It is already substantial. I think a large number of stores right now, you'll walk into it. You walk into the Mumbai airport store, you will be able to do remote eye test. You go to any store of Lenskart in Japan, you will see remote eye test. I think they're just building strong use cases for a certain section of consumers. Abhi, mera ek dietitian, I've had a few dietitians in the past, so they always tell you ki photo le lena. I've never taken a photo. So I'm trying all that use case in our smart glasses. और फिर वो इंटरनेशनल एप्स को समझ नहीं आता पोहा और
Yeah.
भाजी. I've been telling my team boss इसको पोहा भी समझ में आना चाहिए, इसको इडली भी समझ में आना चाहिए, इसको ढोकला भी समझ में आना चाहिए.
Yeah, please solve for it. I think we've all faced this issue of taking a picture and putting it to figure out how many calories we are consuming. And I think Indian food really confuses most of.
I'm assuming on the glasses it'll be great.
Yeah. I want to quickly get Piyush on some of the IPO questions. A lot of commentary around the valuation expectation being very high, considering, it is actually a retail play. What is the kind of feedback you got? Do you think a lot of the narrative around the valuation expectation was also driven from the fact that the market still understands it as a retail company and the tech valuation was being seen as a little bit of a mismatch?
I feel as entrepreneurs, it is not our job to put valuations. It is our job is to create value for the customers. Valuation is between investors and shareholders. It is between the buyer and the seller. Entrepreneur का तो काम ही नहीं है valuation में. I attribute everything we have done at Lenskart to the partners we got. Whether it is TCM early on in Chirate or who was fundamental in that Sunday conversation where wisdom prevailed to just switch to Lenskart, or TPG coming in where we started investing in talent, or SoftBank coming in and we could really take the bolder bets of investing in the factory in COVID, and Kedara Capital coming in, SteadView coming in, and now Adia, ChrysCap and all the sovereigns coming in, really allowing us to think long term, dreaming bigger. So it requires the right partners more than the valuation. When we decided to open a first store in our boardroom, there was a discussion. Lenskart is valued as an online company, a store calling it, it will get valued as a retail company. This is about 12 years back, right? 12 years back. The discussion that was concluded in the room was that we are an eyewear company. We are neither a tech company nor a non-tech company. And our job is to create enthusiastic customers. Great companies deliver 10x value for the customers. ये टैग से मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Just on that bit, has your sort of pre-IPO placement closed? And also want to understand, why a large chunk of your IPO is OFS, considering, the bold ambitions that you have about global expansion and all of those things, you're only raising a very small amount for your size.
Very small amount of primary, yeah.
See, the company generates significant profit already and cash flow. And it has money on the balance sheet also. So we are raising just the right amount I feel that would be needed.
Just one thing on your profitability bit, there was a very sharp swing last year. I mean, what sort of led to it? Was it, change in cost structure, of efficiencies, international contribution increasing? What sort of led to that profitability?
I think just operating leverage, I would say. I think the business, it's a business with the right margins, with the right unit economics. If you start going beyond a certain scale, a significant part of your revenue starts flowing into profit. So I would say it's just a natural course.
Piyush, as you step into being a public company, I mean, most founders say nothing really changes, but, the entire scrutiny and the quarterly expectations, how, if at all, will that weigh on you?
I won't say nothing changes. I mean, of course, nothing changes from a perspective of what we have to do for our customers and everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have a new set of partners now on board. I don't need to right now win credibility with TCM and Ronnie and Sumer.
Yeah.
But I do need to win credibility with the new set of investors, because people are putting capital into the company and we have a moral obligation to ensure that we grow that capital in the long term. I look at the next few quarters as a learning journey for our team to raise the bar. And I think building credibility with the new set of partners for the next decade.
And is that the reason why you thought this was the right time for you to tap the public markets?
I think the company, I feel from a maturity level, it was there. From a profits level, I didn't want the company to be in the red or green zone. So we decided to do it at a time when the conversation is about a vision for 1 billion people and not about this. So I think it's the right time. We're still not perfect. Like I would say, we will have our failures and learnings along the way. But I think it will be interesting, and it is the right time. I think the maturity is there, and I think the team is there.
As Lenskart prepares to go public, it faces a test most maturing Indian startups eventually do: sustaining growth without losing focus. Peyush Bansal's vision for 1 billion will now be paralleled by 1,000 pairs of sharp eyes on his company's performance and pivots every single quarter. The real test will be whether Lenskart can maintain its clarity of vision amid the market's glare. That's it for today. You were listening to the episode on The Morning Brief. It was produced by me and Vinay Joshi, sound designed by Indranil Bhattacharjee. A new episode of The Morning Brief drops every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday on a listening platform of your choice. Stay tuned.